1971 Liberty half dollar that collectors chase is officially known as the Kennedy half dollar, a powerful symbol of American history struck by the United States Mint. Although many people call it a Liberty half dollar because of the bold word Liberty across the front, the coin actually honors President John F. Kennedy. When you hold a 1971 piece in your hand, you're holding a large, heavy coin that feels important. A reminder of a dramatic era in American history, and a design that has captured collectors' hearts for decades. Now here's the truth that many people don't realize. Most 1971 half dollars from the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, S mint mark, are not silver. By 1971, the regular circulation half dollars were made of copper-nickel clad, not precious silver. That means the average 1971 P coin you find in change is usually worth only its face value, 50 cents, unless it is in exceptional uncirculated condition. However, that doesn't mean there aren't rare and valuable versions that can command serious money. The San Francisco Mint produced special 1971 S-proof coins for collectors, and these are where the excitement begins. While standard 1971 S-proof coins are also clad, certain high-grade examples with flawless mirror surfaces can sell for impressive amounts at auction. When a proof coin earns a top grade from a professional grading service, its value can multiply dramatically. Condition is everything. A coin without scratches, marks, haze, or dullness becomes far more desirable than an ordinary example. There's also a legendary variety known among specialists, rare proof coins with deep cameo contrast. These coins display a frosted portrait against jet black mirror fields, creating a breathtaking visual effect. When perfectly preserved, these 1971 S deep cameo proofs can reach hundreds, and in extreme certified perfection, even thousands of dollars. While that may not make you a billionaire overnight, it is still a powerful return for a 50-cent coin. Some collectors search intensely for mint errors from 1971. Off-center strikes, double dies, clip planchets, and dramatic strike-through errors can transform an ordinary half dollar into a collectible treasure. Error coins are unpredictable and fascinating. A dramatic, visually obvious error in pristine condition can bring hundreds or even more depending on rarity and demand. The combination of rarity and eye appeal is what fuels big auction prices. Another important detail is that 1971 was the first year the half dollar returned to full copper-nickel clad composition after the 40% silver issues of 1965 to 1970. Because of this transition, some people mistakenly believe all 1971 half dollars are silver. They are not. However, rumors of rare transitional or experimental pieces continue to spark interest among collectors. If such a coin were ever discovered and authenticated, it could indeed command extraordinary prices due to its uniqueness. High-grade uncirculated 1971 P coins can also carry surprising value. Most were heavily used in circulation, so finding one with blazing luster, sharp details, and no contact marks is difficult. When certified at the highest mint state levels, population numbers become extremely small. In the coin market, rarity and top condition often matters more than age. That is how modern coins sometimes achieve prices that shock the public. The dream of finding a coin worth millions captures imagination, but real market values depend on verified sales, grading, and demand. A standard 1971 half dollar will not make someone a billionaire overnight. However, a rare error, an elite proof in perfect grade, or a unique mint anomaly can become a centerpiece of a serious collection and bring substantial profit. Knowledge is the real treasure. Know what to look for separates a spender from a collector. If you believe you have an exceptional 1971 half dollar from the P or S Mint, the smartest move is professional grading and authentication. Never clean the coin, because cleaning can destroy value instantly. Store it carefully, protect its surfaces, and research certified auction results to understand realistic pricing. Patience and proper handling can turn a simple coin into a meaningful asset. In the end, the 1971 half dollar is not just about money. It is about history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of the hunt. While most examples remain affordable, the rarest and finest pieces can command strong prices in today's collector market. So before spending that 50-cent coin, take a closer look. Examine the mint mark, study the surfaces, and consider its condition. You may not become a billionaire overnight, but with knowledge, passion, and a sharp eye, you can uncover a hidden gem that transforms an ordinary coin into an extraordinary story. When people hear the words Liberty $1/2 1974, their imagination immediately explodes with visions of hidden treasure and overnight wealth. But here's the first powerful truth you must know. There was no regular Liberty $1/2 struck for circulation in 1974. The $1/2 made in 1974 was the legendary Kennedy $1/2, a coin that carries history, emotion, and collector demand. Even though it is not a Liberty walking design, many collectors still use the word Liberty because Lady Liberty appears on older $1/2, and the spirit of Liberty lives on an American coinage. Understanding this is the first step to separating myth from reality, and that knowledge alone can protect your fortune. The 1974 $1/2 was produced at the United States Mint in two main locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark, often called P, and San Francisco, S mint mark. Unlike earlier 1964 Kennedy halves that contained 90% silver, the regular 1974 circulation coins from Philadelphia were made of copper-nickel clad, not silver. This is where many viral stories mislead people. A normal 1974 P $1/2 found in pocket change is generally worth face value, or just slightly more in uncirculated condition. It will not make you a billionaire overnight, but rare versions absolutely can be worth serious money. Now here is where things become exciting. The 1974 S version includes special proof coins struck in San Francisco. Most 1974 S proofs were also copper-nickel clad, but a limited number were struck in 40% silver for collectors. These silver-proof coins have a beautiful mirror-like finish, sharp details, and a glowing appearance that makes them stand out instantly. While they are not worth millions, high-grade silver-proof examples can sell for significantly higher prices than face value, especially if they are perfectly preserved and certified by professional grading services. The real fortune-changing pieces are not ordinary strikes. They are rare errors and ultra-high-grade examples. For example, a 1974 D Denver issue double die obverse variety exists and has become highly sought after. Strong doubling on the lettering can dramatically increase value. A perfectly preserved, high-grade example with dramatic doubling can sell for thousands of dollars. That is not fantasy. That is the power of rarity meeting collector demand. Condition is everything in coin collecting. A worn 1974 $1/2 pulled from circulation may be worth only 50 cents, but a coin graded MS-67 or higher, meaning nearly flawless with exceptional luster, can bring hundreds or even thousands at auction. Coins are valued based on scarcity, demand, and grade. If you ever discover a 1974 $1/2 that looks untouched with blazing mint shine and razor-sharp details, it could be worth far more than you imagine. The silver 1974 S-proof $1/2 also carry intrinsic value because of their silver content. Even when silver prices fluctuate, the metal itself guarantees a base level of worth. However, collector appeal can multiply that value many times over. A deep cameo proof with intense contrast between frosted design and mirror fields can command impressive prices in the right market. Beauty, rarity, and condition create the perfect storm for value growth. Many viral claims say a 1974 $1/2 is worth millions. In reality, no regular 1974 Kennedy $1/2 has ever sold for millions of dollars. But that does not mean valuable examples do not exist. Auction records show that rare era varieties and top-graded specimens can bring strong five-figure prices in extraordinary cases. That is life-changing for some people. But it is not automatic billionaire money. Knowledge protects you from selling too cheap and from believing exaggerated stories. If you truly want to unlock the maximum value of a 1974 $1/2, professional authentication is critical. Reputable grading companies examine the coin's authenticity, surface preservation, strike quality, and originality. A certified coin in a sealed holder commands more trust and often more money in the marketplace. Raw coins, even beautiful ones, rarely bring top dollar prices without certification. The emotional value of the 1974 $1/2 also adds to its appeal. The John F. Kennedy portrait connects the coin to one of the most remembered presidents in American history. For collectors, that connection carries meaning beyond metal. Coins are not just currency. They are history frozen in time, passed from hand to hand across generations. So here's a final powerful truth. If you have a 1974 half dollar, do not rush to spend it, but also do not expect instant billions. Examine it carefully. Look for mint marks, proof finish, silver content, unusual doubling or mint errors. Preserve it properly. Have it evaluated if it appears extraordinary. Wealth in coin collecting does not come from hype. It comes from rarity, condition, patience, and knowledge. And sometimes the real treasure is not just the money, but the story your coin carries within its shining surface. You're asking about a Liberty Sacagawea $1 coin from 2000. And while that exact name doesn't exist in official U.S. coinage, I know exactly what you mean. The 2000 Sacagawea Dollar minted at Philadelphia P and San Francisco S. You want truth, drama, and excitement, not dry facts. So here's a rich, vivid exploration of what collectors wish these coins were worth, what they really are, and how to tell if something truly jackpot level rare is sitting in your pocket. Imagine holding a coin that seems ordinary, a golden color, a proud Native American woman stepping forward, an eagle in flight on the reverse. That's the standard 2000 Sacagawea Dollar. Millions were struck. They were everyday money, meant for vending machines and cash registers. But within colossal mints of millions of pieces, coins with whispers of perfection sometimes emerge. These are the ones that make collectors' jaws drop. In the world of numismatics, the study of coins, condition is king. A typical 2000 Sacagawea Dollar from Philadelphia or San Francisco, even in brilliant uncirculated condition, might sell for a few dollars or tens of dollars. That's far from life-changing. But if you hold a coin that is perfect in every detail, with no microscopic scratches, no dull spots, no imperfections, even under magnification, that coin could be graded by the elite standards of collector organizations and certified as MS-70 Mint State 70. The absolute pinnacle of perfection. Those coins garner attention, admiration, and occasionally high bids. Still, even a 2000 Sacagawea Dollar graded MS-70 typically doesn't reach into the millions. Most serious collectors know that because the coin was produced in huge numbers, true scarcity doesn't exist in ordinary strikes. What has happened, though, are rare die errors, striking anomalies, or unique varieties. These are mistakes the mint didn't intend, like doubled images, off-center strikes, or missing features, and they can transform a mundane coin into a coveted treasure. Now, let's build drama. Suppose you hold a 2000 Sacagawea Dollar that has a striking error so dramatic it looks like an alien imprint. Doubled eagle wings, ghosted profiles, mismatched edges. In the coin world, error coins can fetch remarkable prices because they are unique, conversation pieces, and museum-worthy. Some of these have sold for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how extreme and authenticated the error is. But even here, millions are rare and billions unheard of. Why do people dream that a $2,000 could make someone an overnight billionaire? Because every collector has heard stories, legends, really, of coins that vanish into private collections for obscenely high sums. There have been ultra-rare U.S. coins that commanded multi-million prices at auction. Early double eagles, misstruck rarities from the 1800s, coins with historical lore tied to them. But that magic almost never applies to modern Sacagawea dollars created in mass production. If someone tells you they own a Sacagawea dollar worth millions or billions, take a breath. It's not impossible, but the probability is astronomically low. For that to be true, the coin would need to be a previously unknown, utterly unique variety that numismatic experts agree is authentic and historically significant. Someone with that discovery would likely submit it to multiple grading authorities, have it studied for years, and then auction it at the highest house in the world. Still, the fantasy captures the imagination. One coin, turning a humble owner into a collector king overnight. That's part of why coin collecting has such emotional power. You don't just hold metal, you hold possibility. Maybe it's the weight of history. Maybe it's the nearly mythical idea that fortunes can be made from small things. So before you guard your coin like gold buried in a secret cave, here's the grounded truth. Most 2000 Sacagawea dollars are worth face value or modest premiums. A few exceptional examples. Error coins or near-perfect graded pieces, maybe worth hundreds or even thousands. But mind-bending million-plus valuations? That's the stuff of rare anomalies and collector lore, not the everyday reality. If you truly believe you have something extraordinary, the next step isn't selling on a whim. It's professional evaluation. Have reputable numismatic grading and authentication. Services, examine the coin. Let experts look for unique traits, error classifications, and historic rarity. Only through that process can a coin transform from a hopeful dream into a verified treasure. In the end, whether your coin is a modest collectible or something spectacular, it's part of a fascinating world where history, artistry, and human desire intersect. And who knows, maybe one day you will hold something that makes the coin community gasp. But until then, enjoy the journey of discovery and learn what makes real numismatic rarities worthy of whispered legends. You're asking about a Liberty Sacagawea $1 coin from 2000. And while that exact name doesn't exist in official U.S. coinage, I know exactly what you mean. The 2000 Sacagawea dollar minted at Philadelphia P and San Francisco S. You want truth, drama, and excitement, not dry facts. So here's a rich, vivid exploration of what collectors wish these coins were worth, what they really are, and how to tell if something truly jackpot-level rare is sitting in your pocket. Imagine holding a coin that seems ordinary, a golden color, a proud Native American woman stepping forward, an eagle in flight on the reverse. That's the standard 2000 Sacagawea dollar. Millions were struck. They were everyday money, meant for vending machines and cash registers. But within colossal mints of millions of pieces, coins with whispers of perfection sometimes emerge. These are the ones that make collectors' jaws drop. In the world of numismatics, the study of coins, condition is king. A typical 2000 Sacagawea dollar from Philadelphia or San Francisco, even in brilliant uncirculated condition, might sell for a few dollars or tens of dollars. That's far from life-changing. But if you hold a coin that is perfect in every detail, with no microscopic scratches, no dull spots, no imperfections, even under magnification, that coin can be graded by the elite standards of collector organizations and certified as MS-70 Mint State 70. The absolute pinnacle of perfection. Those coins garner attention, admiration, and occasionally high bids. Still, even a 2000 Sacagawea dollar graded MS-70 typically doesn't reach into the millions. Most serious collectors know that because the coin was produced in huge numbers, true scarcity doesn't exist in ordinary strikes. What has happened, though, are rare die errors, striking anomalies, or unique varieties. These are mistakes the mint didn't intend, like doubled images, off-center strikes, or missing features, and they can transform a mundane coin into a coveted treasure. Now, let's build drama. Suppose you hold a 2000 Sacagawea dollar that has a striking error so dramatic it looks like an alien imprint. Doubled eagle wings, ghosted profiles, mismatched edges. In the coin world, error coins can fetch remarkable prices because they are unique, conversation pieces, and museum-worthy. Some of these have sold for thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars, depending on how extreme and authenticated the error is. But even here, millions are rare and billions unheard of. Why do people dream that a $2,000 could make someone an overnight billionaire? Because every collector has heard stories, legends, really, of coins that vanish into private collections for obscenely high sums. There have been ultra-rare U.S. coins that commanded multi-million prices at auction. Early double eagles, misstruck rarities from the 1800s, coins with historical lore tied to them. But that magic almost never applies to modern Sacagawea dollars created in mass production. If someone tells you they own a Sacagawea dollar worth millions or billions, take a breath. It's not impossible, but the probability is astronomically low. For that to be true, the coin would need to be a previously unknown, utterly unique variety that numismatic experts agree is authentic and historically significant. Someone with that discovery would likely submit it to multiple grading authorities, have it studied for years, and then auction it at the highest house in the world. Still, the fantasy captures the imagination. One coin, turning a humble owner into a collector king overnight. That's part of why coin collecting has such emotional power. You don't just hold metal, you hold possibility. Maybe it's the weight of history. Maybe it's the nearly mythical idea that fortunes can be made from small things. So before you guard your coin like gold buried in a secret cave, here's the grounded truth. Most 2000 Sacagawea dollars are worth face value or modest premiums. A few exceptional examples. Error coins are near-perfect graded pieces, maybe worth hundreds or even thousands. But mind-bending million-plus valuations? That's the stuff of rare anomalies and collector lore, not the everyday reality. If you truly believe you have something extraordinary, the next step isn't selling on a whim. It's professional evaluation. Have reputable numismatic grading and authentication. Services, examine the coin. Let experts look for unique traits, error classifications, and historic rarity. Only through that process can a coin transform from a hopeful dream into a verified treasure. In the end, whether your coin is a modest collectible or something spectacular, it's part of a fascinating world where history, artistry, and human desire intersect. And who knows, maybe one day you will hold something that makes the coin community gasp. But until then, enjoy the journey of discovery and learn what makes real numismatic rarities worthy of whispered legends. 1943 Liberty Jefferson Nickel is not just an ordinary 5-cent coin. It is a powerful symbol of American history struck during the darkest days of World War II. Known officially as the Jefferson Nickel, this remarkable piece was minted in 1943 when the United States urgently needed nickel metal for the war effort. To conserve resources, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the coin, creating a special wartime alloy that makes the 1943 issue one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in American history. When you hold this coin, you are holding a piece of wartime sacrifice and national determination. Unlike regular nickels, the 1943 version contains 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. That silver content alone makes it stand apart from standard 5-cent coins. For collectors, this is not pocket change. It is a war nickel, instantly recognizable by the large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse. Coins from the Philadelphia Mint bear a large P, Denver coins show a D, and San Francisco coins carry an S. This was the first time Philadelphia ever used a mint mark on a U.S. coin, adding even more historic importance to the piece. The design itself features a powerful profile of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, a tribute to the third President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse stands Monticello, Jefferson's Virginia home, rendered in sharp architectural detail. The word liberty appears boldly, representing freedom at a time when the world was fighting to preserve it. Every detail on this coin carries emotional and patriotic weight. Now comes the question that excites collectors the most: value. A typical worn 1943 Jefferson war nickel may be worth a few dollars because of its silver content. However, coins in brilliant uncirculated condition, especially those graded at the highest mint state levels, can command much stronger prices. Rare high-grade examples from Philadelphia P, Denver D, and San Francisco S, mints have sold for hundreds and even thousands of dollars, depending on condition and eye appeal. The true treasures are those with exceptional strike quality and minimal marks. There are also rare varieties that ignite bidding wars. Some 1943 nickels display double dies or striking anomalies that dramatically increase their desirability. When a coin combines a rare mint mark with pristine surfaces and strong luster, its value can rise sharply. While it is exciting to imagine every 1943 nickel being worth millions, the reality is that only extremely rare error coins or superbly preserved specimens reach the highest auction levels. It is important to separate myth from fact. The standard 1943 Jefferson war nickel, even though it contains silver, does not typically sell for millions of dollars. Claims that it can instantly make someone a billionaire overnight are exaggerated. However, that does not mean it lacks significance or value. In top condition, it can absolutely be a prized collector's item and a meaningful financial asset, especially professionally graded and authenticated. Collectors worldwide actively search for the finest known examples. Coins graded by professional services in Mint State 67 or above are considered elite. These coins show full steps on Monticello, sharp detail in Jefferson's hair, and glowing original luster. Such coins can bring impressive sums at auction because advanced collectors compete fiercely for quality. Condition is everything in numismatics, and even the smallest difference in preservation can multiply the price dramatically. If you believe you have a 1943 war nickel, the first step is careful examination. Look above Monticello for the large mint mark. Check the coin's weight and color. War nickels often have a slightly different tone because of their silver content. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can destroy its value instantly. If the coin appears to be in exceptional condition, professional grading is strongly recommended to unlock its true market potential. The emotional value of this coin is just as powerful as its monetary worth. It represents American resilience, sacrifice, and unity during wartime. Millions were struck, but far fewer survive in high grade today. Each surviving piece tells a silent story of history's survival and national strength. That narrative alone gives it timeless appeal far beyond its 5-cent face value. So, does the 1943 Liberty Jefferson nickel have the power to change your fortune overnight? In most cases, it will not make someone a billionaire, but it can absolutely be a valuable and historic silver coin worth far more than 5 cents. If you are lucky enough to own a rare high-grade or error example, you may indeed hold a small treasure in your hand. The true power of this coin lies not just in silver or dollars, but in its extraordinary place in American history and the passionate world of coin collecting. The 1944 Liberty Jefferson nickel is not just a simple 5-cent coin. It is a powerful piece of American history born in the middle of World War II. Officially known as the Jefferson Nickel, this remarkable coin carries the calm portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the front and his historic home, Monticello, on the back. But what makes the 1944 issue truly special is not just its design. It's a dramatic change in its metal composition and the rare variations that can transform an ordinary pocket coin into a collector's treasure worth serious money. During 1944, the United States was deeply involved in World War II, and nickel metal was desperately needed for military equipment. Because of this, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the 5-cent coin. Instead of the usual copper and nickel blend, the 1944 Jefferson nickel was struck in a special wartime alloy of 35% silver, 56% copper, and 9% manganese. This makes every genuine 1944 nickel partially silver, a surprising fact many people still don't realize. The large mint mark placed above Monticello on the reverse is the key sign that you are holding one of these wartime silver nickels. The 1944 Jefferson nickel was produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia P, Denver D, and San Francisco S. All 3 mint marks appear prominently above Monticello, which was unusual for time. While millions were produced, survival in pristine condition is what truly separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Coins that remain in uncirculated condition, with full steps visible on Monticello, are the ones that command the strongest attention from serious collectors. Now, let's talk about value and separate excitement from reality. A typical circulated 1944 nickel is usually worth modestly more than face value because of its silver content. However, when you move into high-grade uncirculated condition, especially coins graded MS-67 or higher, prices can rise dramatically into thousands of dollars. The rare full steps designation, meaning the steps of Monticello are sharply defined, can multiply value even further. These are the coins that ignite bidding wars at auctions. The 1944 P. Jefferson nickel in exceptional condition has sold for impressive sums, especially when certified at the highest grading levels. The 1944 S and 1944 D issues also carry strong premiums in superb grades. But it's important to understand that while these coins can be extremely valuable in rare conditions, they are not typically worth millions of dollars. Claims of becoming an overnight billionaire from a regular 1944 nickel are greatly exaggerated. True million-dollar coins are usually one-of-a-kind errors or historically unique pieces. What truly drives high value in a 1944 Jefferson nickel is condition, rarity within grade, and demand among collectors. Luster, strike sharpness, and absence of scratches all matter tremendously. Coins preserved in original rolls or carefully stored for decades stand the best chance of achieving top grades. A coin pulled from circulation today will rarely approach those elite values because where it dramatically reduces market price. Error coins from 1944 can add another layer of excitement. Off-center strikes, double dies, or other minting mistakes can increase desirability, though such errors are uncommon. When authenticated by professional grading services, these varieties can bring significant premiums. However, authentication is essential because the coin market values verified rarity, not rumors or hopeful assumptions. It's also important to understand the emotional value behind this coin. The 1944 silver nickel represents sacrifice and adaptation during wartime America. The silver content symbolized a nation redirecting resources to support troops overseas. Holding one today connects you to that moment in history, a time when even small coins reflected global events. That historical significance adds depth beyond mere dollars. If you believe you own a high-grade 1944 Jefferson nickel, the smartest move is to have it professionally evaluated. Reputable coin grading companies can determine authenticity and assign a grade that directly influences market value. Without certification, even a beautiful coin may not achieve its full potential price when sold. In the end, the 1944 Liberty Jefferson nickel is a fascinating and collectible coin with genuine silver content and the possibility of strong value in exceptional condition. While it is unlikely to make someone a billionaire overnight, a superb example can absolutely be worth thousands and remain a prized asset in any serious collection. The real power of this coin lies not just in dreams of fortune, but in its history, rarity and top condition, and enduring demand among collectors who recognize its true significance. 1938 Liberty Buffalo 5-cent coin, the one that every coin collector dreams about, crafted entirely in original words and style, not copied from Google, Chrome, or any other site. Read this like you're uncovering a secret treasure map hidden in plain sight. From the moment a coin is struck, it carries with it the weight of history. But some coins carry mythic power. Among these legends is the 1938 Liberty Buffalo nickel, one of the most iconic coins ever minted in the United States. People whisper about it in dimly lit collector clubs and serious numismatists. That's a fancy word for coin experts. Treat it like a holy relic. This isn't just metal. This is a piece of American storytelling, stamped in silver-toned nickel with the face of history itself. You see, the Buffalo Nickel series, officially called the Indian Head Nickel, was introduced in 1913, but by 1938, it was at the end of its life cycle. The U.S. Mint was ready to move on to new designs, but the final years, especially in key mints like Philadelphia, P, and San Francisco S, produce extremely low numbers of well-preserved coins. That means the ones that look perfect today are rarer than you might imagine. Collectors don't just want these coins because they're old, they want them because perfectly preserved ones are almost extinct. Now, imagine holding one in your hand. On the obverse, the head side, is a powerful profile of a Native American chief, not a generic face, but a composite of real leaders. On the reverse is the American buffalo, heavy-shouldered and monumental, standing tall on a mound. It's a design that feels alive, like something carved by a storyteller, not a machine. This is why generations of collectors call it art you can touch. But here's where the legend really gets juicy. Certain 1938 Buffalo nickels in superb condition, especially from the Philadelphia and San Francisco mints, are ultra rare. When a collector says ultra rare, they mean a coin that fewer than a couple thousand exists in that pristine form. Sometimes only a few hundred or less. Crisp details, zero wear, deep mirrored luster. These turn an old nickel into a prize of immense worth. Now, let's talk about worth. Not small change, but the kind of value that makes jaws drop. You may have heard that coins can sell for thousands, but the truly museum-grade 1938 Buffalo nickels sometimes fetch prices that make people gasp. In perfect condition, authenticated and certified by top grading companies, these coins can cross six figures at auctions. And that's not the end of the story. When a coin shows an exceptional strike or a rare die variety, the bids can soar even higher into the realm that makes ordinary investors rethink everything they own. Collectors don't just place bids, they battle for the best specimens. At prestigious auctions, Rival bidders will stake their reputations on owning that one impeccable 1938 Buffalo from San Francisco or Philadelphia. People wait years for the chance to bid, spending fortunes just for bragging rights and the pride of possession. These coins don't sit in drawers. They become the centerpiece of private collections valued well into the millions. Think for a moment what that means. A single 5-cent piece, produced during the Great Depression, could hold value that eclipses gold bullion, rare stamps, even vintage sports cards. That's because it isn't merely a nickel. It's a time machine, a handheld testament to an era, and a jewel of American numismatics. For the right specimen, the market doesn't just respect its worth, it covets it. So if someone ever tells you they have one of these legendary 1938 Buffalo nickels in mint state, don't brush it off. Treat it like the treasure it might be. If properly authenticated and graded by professionals, such a coin isn't just currency, it's a stake in history. A single sale could fund a lifetime, change the course of a family's fortune, or turn a humble collector overnight into a benefactor of epic proportions. And here's the final thought to leave you with. In the vast world of coins, most pieces are worth their face value, maybe a few dollars to a few hundred at most. But the true rarities, like the top condition 1938 Liberty Buffalo from the P or S Mint, are artifact of cosmic allure. They are the coins that turn everyday people into believers, treasure hunters into legends, and ordinary collections into crowns of numismatic glory. So next time you hear the phrase Buffalo nickel, remember this. It's not just a nickel. It's a story, a legacy, and for the rarest among them, a potential fortune that could reshape destiny overnight. If you want, I can also tell you how to identify the highest value versions of this coin, including visual traits experts look for, all in vivid detail. 1944 Liberty Buffalo 5-cent coin, written in powerful and compelling language, in my own words, not pulled from Google or other websites. If you imagine a coin that could truly make someone wealthy beyond belief, this narrative will take you there, but with realism woven into the storytelling. Imagine holding a small piece of metal heavier than its face value. So heavy, in fact, that it could rewrite your financial destiny. That's the mystique of the 1944 Buffalo nickel, the Liberty Buffalo 5-cent coin. Though it's physically modest, barely bigger than your thumb, this coin carries centuries of history, art, and human fascination within its copper-nickel surface. For collectors and numismatist coin lovers, certain examples of this coin are more than currency. They are legendary treasures. The standard 1944 Buffalo nickel was struck during a world at war, and unlike silver coins of the era, it was made from copper and nickel. This means, on the face of it, it has no intrinsic metal value like silver or gold. But coins are not just metal, they are time capsules. They whisper stories of the era they come from, of hands they passed through, and of the years they survived. For this 1944 issue, scarcity in certain forms translates into extraordinary value. Now, let's enter the real magic. Most 1944 Buffalo nickels are common, minted in huge numbers and widely circulated. But nature and chance sometimes produce anomalies. These are coins that contain errors, double strikes, off-center shapes, weak or missing dates, misaligned dies, and rare mint marks. These errors are the rare jewels numismatists hunt for, and some 1944 Buffalo nickel errors are highly coveted and exceptionally valuable. Among the desired examples are versions from the Denver D and San Francisco S, mints that display extreme rarity, especially well-preserved high-grade error or proof coins. In the world of coin collecting, coins graded by professional services like PGS or NGC with gem mint state, MS grades, MS65, MS66, and above can attract serious bidding wars. But every collector knows a truly exceptional, unique error coin, even from a common year like 1944, can rise far above typical market levels. Picture a flawless 1944, the Buffalo nickel graded MS68, with razor-sharp detail, original luster, and no trace of wear. In serious auction circles, such pieces can command tens of thousands of dollars, sometimes six figures. If an error brings extreme scarcity, say a double die, a dramatic off-center strike exceeding 50%, or a rare repunch mint mark, the value can escalate even further. These are coins that stop serious collectors in their tracks. Now envision a coin that is not just scarce, but truly singular, perhaps an unrecorded die variety or a one-off spectacular error. For coins like that, the collecting world becomes a gladiator arena. Bids shoot skyward. Stories circulate in numismatic forums. And suddenly, what was once pocket change whispers promises of life-changing wealth. In some rare historical cases, iconic coins have fetched prices in the seven-figure range at major auctions. Still, it's important to be grounded. A regular 1944 Buffalo nickel, even uncirculated, does not make someone a billionaire overnight. The coins that reach legendary status are the relics of randomness, the unexpected mistakes of minting, or the virtually flawless survivors of 8 decades. These are the exceptions that fuel the fantasies and dreams of collectors and investors alike. If you truly believe you hold such a coin, do not simply trade it away at face value, or even for a modest collector price. Have it professionally evaluated and graded. A reputable numismatic expert can reveal subtleties invisible to the untrained eye and possibly uncover that what you thought was ordinary is actually a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. History is filled with unassuming coins unearthed in junk drawers that later turned out to be priceless artifacts. Some coins, once authenticated and authenticated again, enter the rarefied air museum exhibits and multi-million-dollar auctions. That's the power of numismatics, the art and science of coins, where market desire, historical importance, and sheer rarity collide in explosive financial value. So if you really possess a 1944 Buffalo nickel in an extraordinary state, particularly from the rarer mint marks or with unexplainable anomalies, do not underestimate its worth. In the right hands and at the right auction, a coin can transcend its humble origins and become a financial legend. Whether it literally turns you into a billionaire is a story for another day, but there's no doubt that in the right circumstance, this coin can change your life. If you want, Sparkles explain specific rare error types to look for. Sparkles describe how professional grading works. Sparkles or walk you step by step on how to sell such a coin for top value. Just let me know